What's up, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Jake and Joe Cincinnati Bengals postgame show presented by First Star Logistics. I'm Jake Liscow. He's Joe Goodberry. And, well, we've got a postgame show for you every week here on the First Star Logistics YouTube page. You're not going to want to miss a week, even when the Bengals lose, because you can still win. Today, you can win an Xbox. You can see it on the screen right now, decked out with sweet Bengals coloring, Bengals Tiger logo. Looks great. We've got a winner from Twitter we will announce at the end of the show. You can win this as well in the chat with hashtag Hoard. Joe, sorry. We're going to start today with our biggest takeaways, and mine is quite simple, and then I'll let you talk. My biggest takeaway for this game is I've never, maybe once actually, when I was walking out of SoFi Stadium, been this sick after a Bengals loss. They've had some brutal losses in our time since we've been talking about Cincinnati Bengals football, but none have made me quite as physically ill as I feel right now, besides, like I said, walking out of SoFi after the Super Bowl. Literally physically nauseous right now. Like, I'm going to try to make it through our show here. Try not to go run to my bathroom here. What's your biggest takeaway from this game?
I can't help but think about the final three plays before the missed Evan McPherson, the missed Ryan Rico hold that led to the miss by McPherson from 53 yards, settling for a 53-yard field goal with the game on the line after you stole a fumble from the Ravens. Lamar loses a fumble that on a snap that hits him in the face. One of the worst plays you could make at that moment. And I thought, this is it. Bengals got this. The way they've played all day, the way they've thrown the ball all day, other than the one interception, which I will get to that and talk about that situation. But just this situation with the game on the line, and you come in and go tight 3 times in a row and try and run it down the teeth of the Ravens defense, where they have pretty much stopped you all game in the middle. I could not fathom settling for a 53-yard attempt, even with Evan McPherson. I stay true to what I feel all the time in these situations. Win these tight games on offense. Win them with your quarterback. Win them with your stud receivers. Go win the game. That's not winning the game. That's hoping I win the game because I got lucky that the MVP quarterback on the other side had a bad split-second moment. I can't stomach it. I guarantee there are helmets and pads and chairs being thrown in that locker room today because the players don't feel like they fucked that up. The players don't feel like they messed that up. They feel like Zach Taylor messed that up, I'm sure.
At least on one side of the ball. Really quickly, before we get back into analysis, as Ashton realizes in the chat that my voice is gone because I was yelling during the game. We got the wrong the wrong hashtag, not hashtag Houday. My apologies if that's what I said. It looks like that's what I said. It's hashtag First Star Logistics today. So if you want to get in for that Xbox, hashtag First Star Logistics. Yeah, the play calling after you get that gift, and it is a gift. Let's be honest. It's 100% a gift. Your defense hasn't stopped the Ravens in the second half. And the defense did enough in the first half, to be totally honest, to give the Bengals what they needed to win this game. The second half, a different story. The offense, kind of the reverse side of that, where they didn't do enough in the first half. And then as soon as they got that safety, the game kind of flipped and the Bengals should have won the game. But the final 3 play calls, yeah, Ryan Rico should have handled the hold. Evan McPherson can make that kick with a good hold. He had no chance with that hold. I don't put this on Evan McPherson. That would be a miracle for him to make that kick the way that hold was processed. It was a bad snap as well. So, nobody is faultless in that special teams process. But that's not the problem. Like you said, Joe, at least on one side of the ball, on the offensive side of the ball, you scored 38 points. And then you run the ball 3 times. I mean, the way Joe Burrow is playing, the way that you've been killing the Ravens on slants the entire game, besides the interception, which I know we have to talk about, the way that you're getting pretty much everything you want. Burrow has a great feel for what the Ravens are doing defensively. Yeah, they gave up that sack on that last drive of regulation that really put them behind, but Burrow could see the Ravens defense today. It wasn't an issue of him making bad decisions with the ball. Again, we'll talk about the interception that I will defend Joe Burrow's process on, I think. But the decision to run the ball 3 straight times, you deserve to lose. I know that they could have still won. You deserve to lose. That's part of why I'm so sick, is that they had the opportunity. They had multiple opportunities, but they had the opportunity in overtime. And just like we've seen from this team all season, hallmarks of a bad team, the aphorism, bad teams find ways to lose. It was a new one today, and it is the opposite side of the coin of us feeling like this offense is obviously legit. The Ravens defense isn't what it was, but it's certainly better than they've seen the last couple of weeks. And they found a way to win, is what we could be saying. The Ravens and the Bengals will be 2-3. The Browns aren't a factor in the AFC North. The Steelers are going to come back to earth. And none of that matters now because the Bengals are 1-4 and essentially have to win out at this point to be where they want to be.
And the statement this game could have made had you have won, right? Burrow looks excellent, MVP type performance, other than the interception, which we will talk about because I do want to get to that point. But if you win this game and you're 2-3, the Ravens are 2-3, you feel great. You just knocked off the Ravens. Ravens just gave the Bills everything they can handle and tore them up, right? And then the following week, you come out and put up 500 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and pretty much no more Mike McDonald defense and a little bit of confusion there. Burrow was firing on all cylinders, especially in the second and third quarters. And that it was like, yeah, we got them again. This is it. The Bengals are back in the driver's seat in the AFC North. That would have been the talk nationally, right? Oh, the death of the Bengals was too early. They're back. They're good to go. But the defense, again, we're going to talk a whole subject on the defense. I'd like to kick it that way if we can. Again, for the most part, you cannot trust them to get a stop. Lou Anarumo feels like he's calling everything. They emptied the depth chart. Everyone played on the defensive side. They called everything from blitzing everyone to dropping everyone to sending on one side and dropping into the coverage on the other side to selling out versus the run to selling out versus the pass. Overall, none of it worked. And you knew that when the Ravens got the ball first in overtime, and I was like, dang, I had no hope that they would stop them before scoring a touchdown. And then after the missed field goal, you had the same feeling. Not only were things down at that point, but the whole place felt deflated, even if you're watching on TV. And then Derrick Henry rips off a long run, and that's game. And it's just like, I'd like to start on the defensive side. There were moments of complete, like, I can't believe they got to stop there and got lucky with that fumble. I can't believe they held them to a field goal. It's funny to have those feelings of wins on such minute moments, but they were terrible again. And I don't know what the hope, and we were hoping it was McKinley Jackson and more Miles Murphy, but at times I wanted Murphy even more. There was times where Hubbard's getting stiff-armed twice on a single play and Jackson throws a touchdown. And I'm like, you need athletes back there. This can't happen. We can't have guys lumbering around trying to tackle Lamar Jackson. It has never worked. We learned that the first time Nick Vigil tried tackling him in the open space. You need athletes on the defensive side. And I was so frustrated watching them again.
It's everywhere. It's the defensive front where we're highlighting players where they were better this week. Sure. Yeah. And it's a better offense this week than certainly last week. And there are some signs, I guess, if you're really digging, that say this defense, they got more pressure, that they're pushing new buttons, they're trying new things, but it wasn't enough. And I'm not going to sit here and say the defense was good. They blitzed, according to PFF, 55% of Lamar Jackson's dropbacks. They really went blitz heavy in the second half. And it was somewhat effective, I guess. I mean, Lamar Jackson under pressure, 47% of his dropbacks, according to PFF. But the pressure, I mean, he had the fumbles, the fumble loss. I mean, they're bad snaps. They're not Bengals plays. But when he was under pressure, 9 for 18. So they were able to get plays here and there. And that's one of the takeaways for me with this defense, is that they're able to steal a play here or there. Lou can steal a play with a good play call here or there.
That's a good way to put it.
But he can't steal a drive. I mean, it's hard. They did. They got a couple stops in the first half. They got, Sam Hubbard free shooting a gap. They got a safety. They got a big play. And the defense did that in the first half. And the second half was just like, man, the offense sitting there taking 6 minutes, scoring touchdowns, and then the defense giving up touchdown 1 minute, 13 seconds or whatever it was in the third quarter, a little bit longer in the fourth quarter. But you needed the Bengals to make one more play on offense, and it looked like they were on their way to doing it. It looked like Joe Burrow's playing a career highlight level game. And this is a good time to take a look at the pick. So we will do that in just a second. But I wanted to call up this comment here from Michael Stevens. Zach Taylor apparently said in his presser after the game that they had a pass called and Burrow audibled out of it, said it was the right call to audible out of it, I assume is what that means.
I did see him talking to Eric All and I think it was Sample.
Yeah. The problem is your personnel on the field. Where you've been killing the Ravens in this game is not with your 12 personnel stuff. They were okay out of 12 personnel. We'll need the film to go take a look at it. But where they were great in this game was Burrow doing what Burrow does and has done for his entire career in Cincinnati, which is spreading the ball out, spreading the formations out, getting guys into formation. And unfortunately, the play we're about to look at here, this is the interception. This is one example. Something just fell behind me of
your hopes for the season just fell.
Yeah, that was earlier. Unfortunately, this is like the blemish for Burrow. There's a couple mistakes today, right? One mistake, the underthrow to T. Higgins, the check down to Jamar Chase in the flat. I thought was a mistake that goes for a tackle for a loss. They end up getting a first down. They end up scoring on that drive anyway. That's the first play out of halftime.
Before you play this,
and then this one, yeah, go ahead.
Before you play it, there are 10 guys in the frame here, meaning we have one single high safety. The Ravens are bringing everyone up. They're bringing everyone to the line of scrimmage. They're bringing the corners up, and they're pressing, and they're saying, if we're going to lose this game, we're going to lose because you're going to make a big play down the field. And when I saw this pre-snap, I'm thinking like, okay, you're going to have a chance here. It's 2nd and 15. This is right after a Zach Moss run after he presumably was out for the season with a twisted ankle, comes right back in, gets a run for nothing. They get a false start afterwards, and then here you are here. And I'm thinking, like, take the shot, like go for the killer shot, which ends up being a precursor to the rest of the final 2 drives that they do get here. But yeah, if you want to roll it, you can watch the outside there, Jamar Chase at the top of the screen.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do what I do and control it frame by frame, which maybe annoys. Maybe I'll let it play first. We'll just play it first. You can see what happens here. Okay, we've seen what happens here. Okay, what actually happened here? One, as you're pointing out, there's press man, you would think. Maybe there's a safety over here. I don't remember. Did they show the all 22 here?
They did not show downfield on it.
You said there's 10 guys here. There's a safety somewhere here. But either way, you've got T. Higgins pressed up with Brandon Stevens, and you got Jamar Chase pressed up by Marlon Humphrey. One of these, you could take a go ball to, right? One of these is going to be there. Instead, what we get is quick game. And to the Bengals' defense here, the Ravens didn't stop a slant the entire game.
They weren't pressing, though.
Killing them the entire game. And then Burrow, I was told he stared this down. You can see he starts eyes middle of field as he does. And then he's like, okay, I'm throwing it to Chase. This looks fine. I'm trusting Chase is going to beat this leverage. There's a hand on him on the inside. Chase is going to run through that. But this high-low here, this is dragging. You got a flat and a slant. That can go to the slant. The inside corner is not coming down on the slant, right? So you have that slant because Jamar Chase wins that one-on-one. That's what Joe Burrow is thinking right here. Let's see where the ball comes out. Hand off the ball here. Maybe at this point you eat it if you're Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
If that's what you see. But, I mean, that contact also endures throughout the play here. Jamar Chase gets cut off. Marlon Humphrey inside position and makes a good play to finish it. But the reason I don't really blame Burrow for this is you're trusting Jamar to win inside on Marlon Humphrey. Like where the ball comes out, where the hands open, and you come to a throwing posture right here, you're just expecting Jamar's going to run through this. And maybe
Jamar was having a great day.
Yeah.
So you assume he's done this before. He's won on this plenty of times before, and he doesn't knock that outside hand away. Marlon Humphrey, a physical corner, obviously. Maybe that's not the guy I want to run the slant against, right? Maybe I want T over Brandon Stevens, who's made contested grabs all day long. But yeah, when you choose sometimes pre-snap, it looks like that safety does come from over the top. If you see 32 right there, he comes running in from the top of the screen here. Keep watching. Left side, yeah. Like he had to be over top of Chase on that.
Yeah. So then why are we not looking backside where you got two slants? I mean, maybe you should be looking backside to T on Brandon Stevens. Just take your matchup with the worst corner. Yeah, I don't know. That's maybe not the best decision, but I have a hard time really being too hard on Burrow for this. They're winning slants all game. You're expecting your star receiver. Go
Can I
ahead.
just be hard on the offense as a whole? You get 3 possessions to win the game. We want that. As I scream at the top of my lungs to try to win the game on offense as like a philosophical, standpoint at the end of games, they had the ball 3 times, whether it was that drive right there, you could ice it out and close the game. You get it with a minute 30 when 3 timeouts, you give up a sack on first down. You get pressured right away. Joe Burrow has to get out of the pocket, a late throw over the middle that allows the corner to recover and knock the ball away from T. Higgins. And then you have to run the ball on third down. I understand why you do that. You got to kill that clock and try and reset for overtime. And then you get the ball in overtime and it's run, audible into a run, whatever it may be. We don't want to absolve Zach Taylor or Joe Burrow of any of the blame here, or even Jamar Chase, because you're supposed to win on that slant. Guys, the offense is supposed to win this game, and they had 3 chances to do it and were unable to do it, no matter how you slice it, whether it was the O-line failing, whether it was the run game failing, the blocking, the quarterback failing, the receivers failing, the play calling failing. On offense, they lost this game. As bad as the defense was, and they put them in a hole consistently. You had a 10-point lead throughout this game, and you had a chance to ice it. And then you had a chance to win it in regulation. Then you got a gift and had a chance to win it in overtime, and you failed to do it each time. That's not MVP level play from the quarterback position. That's bad. That's a bad loss.
I'm going to push back a little bit.
Okay.
I think in the first half, I was on the offense. At halftime, I tweeted the EPA stats, and the Bengals were dreadful. The defense was doing enough, and the offense was negative in EPA per play in that first half. But in the second half, they went touchdown, 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 interception. And yes, the Bengals could have made that play to win on offense. They had a chance with 90 seconds left in the game, as you point out. They were driving before Joe threw that pick, and they got themselves in a pretty bad place to throw that pick. And then they didn't do anything in overtime. 100%, those are issues with the offense. But when you score 38, and I guess I joked numerous times pregame on numerous media outlets that they would need to get to 40. And it was 41. 41 right. Was the winning score. But when you score touchdowns on 4 straight drives, you score 38 points, you needed the defense to make another play too. It's an entire team loss. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to come away from this game. I'm going to come away from this game hard on the offense's ability to finish.
Yeah.
But the overall offense for me in this game, it was great. I mean, Joe Burrow was at 0.51 EPA per play, which is in the 94th percentile. He had 22.7 total EPA. He was killing it in CPOE. He had numerous elite throws in this game. Great play call to Jamar Chase. I don't recall if they've ever run that double post out of trips with play action before getting Jamar Chase isolated on a safety in a 3 high structure, either a 6 or a 3 structure for the Ravens on the back end. That was a great play. Great throw to Mike Gesicki. Great timing in the red zone. They were perfect in the red zone today, I believe.
So, yep.
They didn't attempt a field goal until the end of the game, so they must have
slants to T. Yep, for touchdowns.
Yep. And so when your defense is giving up, 10 for 15 on third downs, can't get a stop, despite the Bengals controlling the ball for nearly the entire third quarter. You're getting outpossessed in the game. It's tough for me to be too hard on the offense here. Yes, they could have closed the game better. No doubt. But this is as much a loss on the defensive side of the ball as it could be, despite the way the game ended. Really quick, before you jump back in, just want to remind people you've got an opportunity to win a sweet Xbox on the show today. Looks like next week we've got 3 winners for a Salute to Service Burrow jersey. We will have details on that giveaway. Check out the First Star Logistics Twitter page at First Star Log. And for the Xbox today, it's hashtag First Star Logistics in the YouTube chat. Really appreciate these giveaways. Thanks to First Star Logistics. Joe, dive back in.
Yeah, I guess I got another big takeaway then. And part of my, I saw a comment come across, didn't see who it was, but it says, I guess Joe Burrow sucks now. We should just trade him. And that's not my point when I was talking about the offense. I believe everyone deserves some blame, but I think this is going to be the talking point for not just this game, but the entire season. When Joe Burrow says, I got to play a pretty perfect game, He wasn't lying. Like that's what it would require. And he was close. Unfortunately, it wasn't perfect, right? We have that interception and we take a sack, and those aren't all his fault, as we've diagrammed and showed and will continue. But if you can't complete a perfect game, you lose this game, which is unfair completely. That is so much pressure on the offense. And what that means is, and he's saying it, and we've been saying it, the defense sucks. Like you're saying the quarterback of the team, the leader of the team is saying, I need to play pretty perfect. What does that tell you? Number one, you're going against a good team. Number two, you don't expect your defense to get many stops, and they didn't. So it was like 3 minutes left in the third quarter. I'm thinking like they can't punt. This is it. They're going back and forth, and the Ravens are scoring in like a minute on 3 drives. I think it was right after that drive. And I go, yeah, the offense cannot make a mistake for the rest of the game. This may come down to whoever makes the mistake first. And it may have, so that's why when I'm putting pressure on them, it's because that's what it requires. If this team is going to go where they're going to go this year, which now seems very slim, Burrow has to be perfect. You're on mute, Jake.
Thanks, Joe. And this is why he has to be perfect. You've got I can't take this play. the defense just can't make a play. I mean, not only can Sam Hubbard not, I mean, first off, let's watch the clock, right? Snap is at 5:36. Lamar drops the ball, 5:35. Mm-hmm. He's got the ball back, 5:34. He's got a knee on the ground.
2 seconds.
5:34. 2 seconds. Where is
3
anybody?
Seconds.
Where is anybody? Miles Murphy is getting stood up. I don't know why Miles Murphy is rushing over the good pass protector, by the way. I mean, I guess you need to put somebody over there, but like give yourself a chance when you got a stunt inside.
That's McKinley Jackson, by the way. They're 93, guys.
Oh, yeah. I didn't notice him at all. You got a stunt inside, which is just now starting to develop. And somehow McKinley Jackson doesn't run through there. He's trying to get back to Lamar Jackson. Sam Hubbard gets inside Rosengarten. Great. And where was this ball snapped? 5:36.
So it's 4 seconds now.
5:32. Okay, here we go. We got some pressure. 4 seconds into this snap.
I can't watch.
And Lamar Jackson stiff arms Sam Hubbard once. Sam Hubbard keeps his feet, reaches for the collar, can't get him, falls. Lamar Jackson is now, let's go back. Where's the line of scrimmage here? The 7-yard line. Lamar Jackson is back at the 27-yard line, 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, pointing at traffic. And you got Geno Stone. If you look at the dots, Geno Stone, totally oblivious to a guy behind him, reading Lamar's eyes. And that's why Geno Stone is so far right here. You got DJ Turner over here as well. And because Geno Stone is just staring down Lamar Jackson, he drifts out toward the side. DJ Turner's trying to get back there, but Geno Stone has drifted from like inside the A over here, outside the L. And as a result, as Lamar Jackson throws across his body back over the middle of the field, drifting out of bounds, 13 yards behind the line of scrimmage, there's nobody there to make a play. The Bengals have a safety problem.
I was just going to go there. I was going to say, did the safeties get better? Or are they just not allowing explosive at the same rate? They're just not impacting the game at all.
No, the safeties were bad in this game. At some point, I looked at the PFF numbers in the middle of the game, which they're doing live grading now. And so these aren't final grades by any means, but the lowest graded Bengals on defense today were Geno Stone at a 28, which is impressively low for a safety. He was charted with giving up 5 catches on 8 targets for 27 yards and a touchdown. Those are directly his responsibility, not counting for other things that he may have had opportunities to make plays on. He missed 4 tackles, according to PFF charting. Second worst was Von Bell, who got into the action today at 8 snaps. He had a grade of 29, missing a tackle and giving up a catch on his 1 target of the day. You don't have to go much further down the chart to find Von Bell, who was the best safety somehow of this game, according to PFF charting. Again, not final grades. And again, it's PFF. Take it with a grain of salt. But they were rotating Jordan Battle in for Von Bell a couple of times in this game. Von Bell only at 67 snaps. He had a 54. Didn't miss a tackle, but obviously gave up. Or was in a position where he could have prevented the go ball to Charlie Kohler, and just he can't run anymore. None of these guys can run. It's a problem.
right after that play, so the next drive, Jordan Battle's in on the first play, and they end up getting a pass to Mark Andrews. But Battle was in for like the next 5 or 6 plays, and then there was a play action, and from the TV angle, I saw Battle jump up and then turn around and run, and I mean like 5-7 yards out of where he's supposed to be. And then the next play, Von Bell's back in, and that, we stayed with Von Bell. Like, I assume Lou Interim was watching him right there and goes, yeah, get Battle out of here. He's just too much of a wild card. But you need somebody that can make a play at some point. I mean,
but can Battle make a play? Like, this was my problem with
maybe
people clamoring for Battle. He is not fast either. Like, it's not like he's
slow.
He's a little faster, but they're slow. Their safeties are slow, and if they're not slow, they got problems between the ears. Apparently, they have a safety problem. Geno Stone has not fixed it, and I think Mike McDonald is a great defensive coordinator who put Geno Stone in great positions in a 3-safety dominant defense in Baltimore, asking him to be a full-time deep safety. So far, not paying dividends for the Bengals.
Yeah, and I said this when they made the decision to move Dax Hill from safety to corner, who sustained an injury, and hopefully that's not for the season, right? They immediately ruled him out. We should talk about the injuries real quick because we also had Amarius Mims go down, leg whipped in the calf, Achilles, ankle area, and ended up he was carted off. Like, I'm like, no, that's it. And then he's back on, gets taped up on the sideline, and re-enters the game. I thought Cody Ford actually did a solid for that drive and a half that he was out there. But we don't know on Dax Hill. Didn't look good. He kind of changed directions, and immediately the knee kind of gave up and came up limp. He's been their most consistent DB.
Non-contact issue.
Yeah. And what I was going to say is when they moved him to the corner, I thought, man, the safety room is slow. It's desperately slow. If Jordan Battle's your best bet out there, you're still looking at a slow safety, but at least he didn't miss tackles as a rookie. So maybe that's the hope that people are saying, like, and I haven't since I also a few weeks ago, I was like, they need to play Jordan Battle more. Where's Jordan Battle? I've received some corrections and intel of like, yeah, well, Battle needs to learn how to be a professional in year 2. He's kind of going through the Tyler Boyd year 2 doghouse. And maybe at the end of the year, maybe he can, snap out of it and get back into it and help this team out. But as of right now, he's not a help to the team, and they don't believe he is. And that's why he's not on the field.
Yeah. I'm still sick, Joe.
This is like you have the Super Bowl to the Rams loss. You have the Chiefs loss. You've got, how far back do you want to go? 10 years? You got the
Chiefs,
Steelers.
The Chiefs AFC Championship loss. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. You've got the Steelers wild card loss that was just craziness meltdown. I think this is up there. This, like, for a regular season game, I don't know. It's been a long time since we felt this way and felt this disappointed. And maybe it's because of what it could have meant to win, and then how you lost. Such a gap creates that feeling.
And it's just they can't win with the defense.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
It's confirming it.
It's like they got some guys back. You got some signs in the first half that maybe getting those guys back helps. And then the second half is like, nope, same defense. First drive, same defense. They can't string plays together. They're getting into third and shorts all the time. The late down rushing success rate for the Baltimore Ravens in this game, they had 7 runs. Each of them picked up a first down.
Wow.
The Bengals, by comparison, by the way, had 3 late down runs, third or fourth down. I think all third down. Obviously all third down. 3 of them, 0 of those picking up first down. By comparison, Joe Burrow went for a crazy streak and converted, 7 straight, at least, third downs. He was clinical in the third quarter, early fourth quarter, was playing perfect ball. And in the end, Baltimore outgains the Bengals in this game, 520-442. They end up even on yards per play when the Bengals had a 1-yard lead there sometime late in the game. They end up with 175 rushing yards. What were they at halftime? Like 54 or something like that?
That last run by Henry.
Yeah. And that gets their average up to 5.1. At the end of the third quarter, it was 3.3 apiece, I think, in yards per carry. So they're selling out to do things. The only way this defense can steal a play right now, going back to what I said earlier about them being able to steal a play but not a drive, is they're gambling. They're betting. Yeah. They're saying, we can win if we sell out for this on this play.
Right. Sell out for the runs, sell out a blitz, sell out putting everyone in coverage, like they tried to do with the Chiefs, selling out blitzes like they tried to do many times with Lamar today, and then selling out for the run, which they've tried to do since the Patriots game. And it leaves them so exposed on the back half.
Yeah. Awesome game for Jamar Chase. I don't know if we've talked about Jamar Chase because we've been so focused on the things that went wrong and the negatives. Jamar Chase taking a little flat screen showing that explosion. Got good
Sample and
blocking on the
All
edge
blocking.
from Eric and All. Do we have that play? Maybe we look at one last play here.
One positive play
Finish
at
on
the
a
end.
positive. I certainly have tweeted this play. Let's see if I can find it. And then
That's probably, if you're looking for it, I'll take a second. That's probably their best 12 personnel play. As you said that earlier, there wasn't like 12 personnel wasn't the winning formula, but this one was nice. You go empty, look at Chase Brown at the bottom of the screen, the 2 tight ends at the top of the screen. I love this, and it worked. It worked to perfection.
You got T in the slot here, tight in a very tight alignment. Chase Brown on the left side, on the left side, isolated. That's technically 2x2 or 2x3, but this is, notice that they're still doing this from the spread out stuff, right? And so you've got great. Let's just slow it down and let it run. You've got great blocking, good enough blocking. This is a flat screen, not a bubble screen. Runs flat across the line of scrimmage. You got a couple blockers out in front, and you get hat on hat here. You're going to get Drew Sample, maybe with a hold, but pancaking Marlon Humphrey and Roquan Smith not getting there in time. And then it's just acceleration speed from Jamar Chase. As according to Next Gen Stats, he reached over 21 miles per hour on 2 plays in this game. And this was one of the 2, which is he's done that 5 times in his career. He did it twice in this game.
We seen some vintage Jamar Chase the last 2 weeks. That Panthers play over the middle where he breaks 5 tackles and goes down the sideline. The deep crosser and that gear he hit when that ball's in the air because Burrow laid it out there before. He's technically there, and he tracked it as he does. And then this play here, making something happen after the catch and getting to your top speed, reminds me of his rookie year, against the Ravens as well. So stinks to lose that game. I mean, hard to even celebrate the positive moments. And there are a few, because look at the schedule. We're probably going to sit here and be 3-4 at some point and waving the flag and hoping to get back into this thing again. You just need one more victory against a good team yet again. But gosh, this defense and this team is not built correctly. And it's going to be a theme, I think, for the next year until we can get back to this point and hope that they fix these issues.
Yeah, there are going to need to be some serious changes. I don't know how you go about making those changes exactly, at least not yet, but personnel, coaching, whatever it is, it's not working despite the investments the Bengals have made on that side of the ball. Not efficient investments. And you're right. We could sit here and play the schedule game and say they're going to play the Giants. Then they got the Browns. The Browns look
bad.
Somehow just totally hapless. And then they get Philly at home, Vegas at home. They could win 4 in a row. You could talk yourself into that. And then they go play Baltimore on a short week. And then you're really wishing they had finished this game. Because then when you go play Baltimore on a short week, division Thursday night games on a short week never go well for the away team. And, shouldn't say never. Rarely go well for the away team. But we're not going to play the schedule game any further than that. Let's give away some Xboxes. Let's send some people home happy, and then we'll get out of here. Because even when the Bengals don't win, which they got to win some games for us here.
Eventually.
Some people will win on our show. Our first winner is Michelle Lawson. Congratulations. We will get in touch. You have won one of our 2 Xboxes. We've got another one to give away. That was our Twitter giveaway. Congrats to Michelle Lawson with the sweet Bengals background on Twitter. And we've also got a giveaway for all of the First Star Logistics hashtags in the chat here. Then we'll get out of here and hopefully
354 entries.
Hopefully y'all can find something nice to do with the rest of your day. Maybe get an Xbox game if you win this drawing.
I'm going to watch more football and see if there is anything to give us some hope here.
Oh, I almost won.
I thought that was you.
That wasn't me. Tanner Bush Tanner Bush Voltify. Congratulations.
Tanner.
Check the comments here on this YouTube video. We'll be sure to get in touch with you so you can get your Xbox as well. That will do it for this episode of the Jake and Joe Show. Thanks for joining us for the Jake and Joe postgame show. Sorry again, it is for a tough game. Can't say enough good things, though, about First Star Logistics, one of the fastest growing companies in Cincinnati. They are hiring. You can check it out to see if you are a fit with First Star Logistics. And until next time, when hopefully we will be celebrating a win. Joe and I haven't gotten to do that together yet. It would be nice to do that once. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realized self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.